These days, men are saying, "Don't even look at a woman. That's the way to save your life." It seems like a joke, but it's a reality that's really hard to laugh about. How far does sexual harassment go? In Korea, sexual words or actions that the other person doesn't want. In other words, any act that makes the other person feel sexually humiliated, ashamed, or disgusted are considered sexual harassment. It's not just words, but also looks, gazes, or even glaring eyes at a specific body part are considered sexual harassment. It's the same in other countries. In Canada, the Labor Code clearly states that sexual words, actions, gazes, gestures, or contact that make the other person feel uncomfortable or humiliated are sexual harassment. The Ontario Human Rights Commission clearly states that looking at someone in a lecherous manner or inappropriate gaze is also considered sexual harassment. So what exactly are glaring eyes? These are the things that apply. Looking someone up and down. A persistent gaze that seems sexually intentional. A gaze that is so blatant that the other person feels uncomfortable, ashamed, or disgusted. If this gaze is repeated or persistent, and the other person feels uncomfortable, it is recognized as sexual harassment. There are actual cases. In Korea, a boss at work was suspended, ordered to pay damages, and even criminally punished for persistently staring at a female employee's body at a company dinner. In Canada, a victim filed a complaint with the Human Rights Commission for the sole reason that a senior glared at a female employee, and the company issued an official apology and paid damages, and the senior was fired and held criminally liable. So how can you look at a woman and be considered sexual harassment? Short glances and natural eye contact are okay. But if you stare at a specific body part repeatedly or continue to stare even after the other person says it's uncomfortable, that's sexual harassment. In particular, persistent staring at someone at work or in a public place is immediately recognized as a violation of human rights. So where should you look to be safe? Here's a practical tip. When talking, look at the other person's face naturally. When your eyes meet, a smile or a nod is enough. If the other person looks uncomfortable or avoids your gaze, immediately look away. Absolutely no staring at specific body parts or persistent staring. But judging whether a stare is glaring is entirely up to the other party. If the other party claims that you stared at the other party with glaring or sinister eyes, when you just looked at the other party because the other party was pretty, there's no way to protect you. Isn't this too unfair? Isn't it wrong to stare because the other party looks sexy? How do you say sexual harassment in Korean?
성희롱.
Please leave a comment with your thoughts.